Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Unit 7. That's right, we're all the way up to 7. This is a two-part video series, and right now we're starting with video 1 of this series, followed up with video 2. All right, and this unit is all about human resource management, sometimes called HR or HRM. All right, this lesson is geared towards my introduction to business students for business and management and administration. Additionally, if you are in my 8th grade course and you stumbled across this video on my YouTube channel, then these are some expanded ideas of some of the things that we brought about in management and entrepreneurship. So you could also use these concepts towards any work done in class. If by chance you're some random person, welcome to my video channel. I hope you're taking something from this and learning from this. I'm Mr. Cadle, and let's get started with this party. Here we go. All right, so human resource management. The biggest thing to know about human resources is they manage the human element of a business, okay, the human element. In other words, the human needs and the human wants. What do employees want, so on and so forth, okay? So we're going to look specifically at that. Also, you might be working with, if you're in human resources, you might be working with contracted employees, what have you, but that's a bit more in depth and we probably won't go there into details, all right? So let's get started here. The big ideas. What is human resource management? All right, we're going to be able to answer that by the time all is said and done. In other words, after we get through a couple slides, we can get the official definition, and hopefully you guys can write on your own paper what it is without writing it up or looking it up or what have you. All right, what do human resource managers oversee? All right, so what is human resources and what do they oversee? All right, we should be able to answer that when all is said and done. Now, this video does conform with Florida standards dealing with this course, all right? So, Florida standard dealing with 03.0 asks us, what are some various roles in a human resource career? All right, so we're going to look at some basic terms and concepts. We're going to look at basic careers. We're going to look at common characteristics of those in the field. And we're also going to give some of the changes in the field and how it's evolving and changing and how it used to look like and how it looks like now and what are some of the skills required to successfully enter the career. On that fourth point, it's important to understand that the way businesses operate and work as far as employee relations in bigger businesses is much different now than it used to be 10, 20, 50 years ago, okay? Because of different rules, laws, regulations, so on and so forth, all right? So it is changing. Also, people's wants are changing. What businesses are offering are changing. Would you believe there's a time where sick pay wasn't the standard? Vacation time wasn't a standard, okay? Each business is different, all right? The businesses have to figure that out. And it might be the case where the CEO is acting as the human resource manager or the manager or the business owner, but they might have somebody hired in who's helping making those decisions, all right? And helping write those policies, okay? So let's dive further here. What is human resources? All right, so the official definition, if you were looking this up in a dictionary or a guide or something like that, would say that human resources is the word or the phrase or the term used to describe the formal systems devised for the management of people within an organization. All right, the management of people. Now understand, this management of people may not be, okay, every day you're going to do this and this is what's needed for the business. No, other managers might have to decide that, all right? So you're looking at the employees, the employee side, the employee needs, okay? If an employee has a complaint, how is those complaints handled? If the business needs to make hiring and firing choices, or maybe some choices to correct courses of action, what can be done? What do you do about that employee that shows up late once, twice, or 3 times in a row? Do you just fire them, or do you try to coach them to correct the course of action? All right, if they're a good employee, they're just showing up late, maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there needs to be something done, okay? The immediate option should not always be, fire him! No, that's not how it works, all right? That's not how good businesses do business, all right? All right, so the management of people within an organization. All right, so Human resources and managing human resources fall into three major areas of a business. Just three, okay? All right, so they are responsible for the staff needs. In other words, getting the people where they need to be, okay? Do we need to have 8 technicians at this mechanical place? If we're in a factory, how many people do we need on a shift, all right? The staffing needs, okay? The employee compensation and benefits. Do people want to get reimbursed for their time? How much? Should the workers who are doing standard labor, which you have more of, get paid as much as a manager? If so, will they treat that opportunity the same? What are the qualifications? Okay, so employee compensation and benefits. Are you going to offer things like sick time, vacation time? Is that something you want to offer? Okay, what will keep your employees there? Vacation time. And then, of course, you're defining or designing work. All right. I want you to understand, though, that the people of the organization, the staffing, and the employee are all the same things. Okay? People, staffing, employee could be all the same things. Okay? The employee is somebody who works for the business and is employed by the business, right, and earning the benefits from the business. All right? Staffing might be all of the people that are working there, even if they're contracted out, okay? Contracts mean they're not employees, but they are working on they're at the business, performing some sort of service. And then, of course, all of the people, including the managers, so on and so forth, all right? They are considered the gatekeepers of the organization. All right, here's a big concept here, all right? Gatekeepers. What do gatekeepers do, all right? All right, Mr. C, take a quick time out and think about and have your class discuss what gatekeepers do. Think of a castle, okay, and think of a gatekeeper. All right, I'm going to give you a quick pause. All right, so yes, gatekeepers control who goes in the area, who goes into the castle, all right? I always like to use this analogy, all right? One of Mr. C's favorite movies, okay, was Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, all right? And if you haven't seen this movie before, okay, I want you to set this up, all right? It's a group of people who are on a mission, all right, to have a ring that's filled with magical powers destroyed, okay? And so on their trip, they get caught in this mountain, all right? They're going through this mountain, they get caught, right? And they're being attacked. And all of a sudden, you hear this big roar, right? And all of the things that are attacking them just scatter out because they are absolutely scared. And then a few scenes later, you see this big fire demon. They call it the Fire Lord of whatever. I don't know what it is. The Morgoth of whatever. I don't remember the name of it, right? But, okay, so anyway, you got this point where the wizard of the group, all right, magical guy of the group, is trying to protect. He's acting like the gatekeeper for his friends, right? And he stands up to this big creature, looks at it and says, "You shall not pass." And then he takes his staff, slams it on the ground. This big beam comes from it, right? And the creature's like, "What?" Right? And then he tries to attack the group, and Gandalf isn't having any part of that. The wizard guy, right? And the bridge just crumbles out from underneath both of them, right? Protecting the group, right? In that case, he was acting as a gatekeeper, okay? Trying to protect his group of people, right, from harm, all right? Acting as the gatekeeper, all right? Now, they may also act as a liaison, all right? Liaison, that's a fancy French word, okay? It essentially means go-between, okay? A person who works between two entities, all right? All right, here's what that means in the real business world, all right? All right, you got a group of executives. Maybe you're in a big business and you got a big board of executives, all right? And a decision has been made that business isn't running as fast as it should be, okay? You got too many people on staff and you need to let go of certain employees, okay? Well, that human resource manager would be tasked with figuring out who goes, who stays, okay? And there might be a bunch of various reasons why he may make those decisions, or they may make those decisions, all right? Additionally, it might be the case where maybe the employees have a complaint that they're wanting to do or wanting to have. Maybe they have a series of demands, right, that they like to see at the workplace. And the human resource manager might bring that up to the managers or the board and say, hey, our employees are wanting this. We really should make this happen. What will it take to do this? Can we find a compromise, right? So they will act as a liaison, a go-between, all right? So gatekeepers protect the entity. Liaisons act as a go-between. You're going to need to know that, all right? All right. Keys. All right. So the basic mission, okay? Now think about what a mission is, right? A mission is a series of endeavors going towards the overall goal of the business, right? The basic series of endeavors for a human resource manager is to acquire, to develop, and retain talent. Talent's also another word for its employees or its staff, its people, okay? Talent, employees, staff, people. All right. Now, if you're thinking talent, Mr. C, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, think about this. All right. Have you ever heard of the store called Guitar Center? Okay. All right. Guitar Center has a whole bunch of musicians or people who work in the music business or sell products for the music business, catering towards those who sell products, right? So they wouldn't want to call them the employees. They call them their talent. Why? Why do they do that? Well, because it makes sense, right? They're talented individuals, and the individuals they're set for overseeing. In other words, if I go talk to a guitar salesperson, that dude better be really talented and know his guitars. If I go talk to somebody about engineering and recording, dude might be really talented about those products, right? So businesses might call them their people, their talent, okay? So acquire, in other words, get the right people on board. Develop them, in other words, train them to make sure that they are on the right course. And cool thing is, if they have leadership opportunities, maybe they're training them for their leadership opportunities, and they want to keep the good people there, all right? That's mission number one. Mission number two, to make sure that the people who are working there align with the business. I just used that Guitar Center idea, right? You want to make sure that the people who are servicing the fellow musicians and the creative artists in the community know about their products, right? So they are aligned with the workforce, all right? You wouldn't go to the dentist and seek legal advice from that guy, right? Well, that's not the purpose of the dentist. The dentist is to seek advice about your teeth, right? So you want to make sure that the right people are working for your business, all right? In other words, if I have a mechanic shop, I better have a whole bunch of mechanics who are working with me and make sure they're trained. And then, of course, they got to be a good contributor to the business, because if the human resource manager isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's going to suffer on the overall business itself, all right? So acquire, develop, retain talent, align the workforce, and be an excellent contributor to the business. All right, some other key ideas. All right, so this is a big, fancy series of lines, right? I'm going to take a quick time out and let you read them, right? So I'm going to do the awkward pause thing, but if you think you need some extra time, go ahead and read these ideas here for just a quick second, and then we're going to discuss this funny strip over here, all right? All right, quick awkward pause coming in 3, 2, 1. All right, so yeah, big ideas, okay, from this particular slide, right? All right, so if the policies for the personnel are set up right, your business can succeed. If the policies aren't set right, then the business may suffer. You've got to bring on the right people, and you know what? Personnel problems don't matter if you're a big business or a small business. Just like schools have problems if they're a big school or a small school, the same problems exist, all right? So let's talk about this funny strip over here, right? All right, so you got a guy who's obviously at an interview, right? And this person who's behind the desk making the decision has to figure out, is this gentleman right here a right fit for the business? Okay, is he the right fit? We don't know that. We don't know the business that he's working here for, right? All right, so if this guy right here is working for, say, I don't know, Dave & Buster's or someplace like that, then this guy might be the right employee, okay? However, if he's in a more professional environment, maybe this guy isn't the right business for the person that this guy's representing, all right? So it's up to the human resource manager, the person giving the interviews, to figure out who is the right fit and who is not the correct fit, all right? And each business is different, and each business has to figure out what kind of employees they want working in their organization. All right. All right. So, roles and duties. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on, oopsie, too much time on these. Okay. But yeah, you've got, recruiting. In other words, informing people that your business exists and that you're looking for people, right? You've got to select those people and then introduce them to the business, hire them. They call that the onboarding process. Okay. So you go through, hey, we're hiring. Here's our application process. Okay, you've been hired now. Let's get you introduced to the business. All right, it's called induction. All right, you've got personnel administration. In other words, hey, you have some employees who are wanting some time off because they've earned some vacation time. How are you going to divvy out vacation time? How are you going to ensure that if 8 people are working in that business, that not all 8 people are taking vacation at the same time? Okay, how are you going to ensure that that happens? All right, you've got training and development. Okay. Are all people going to know what to do all the time, or are they going to have to be trained? Think about it, right? Do people who go to work at McDonald's know automatically how to make a Big Mac? Well, Mr. C, you just put the burgers in the thingy and you just grill them. Well, yeah, but there's a certain way to produce it. There's a certain bun. There's 4 different buns back there. Which bun goes with the Big Mac and which one goes with the standard hamburger or filet of fish? All right. How long does that, how often does that fry grease need to get changed out? Okay. Those are things that have to be trained. Okay. In a big business, is there certain forms that need to be filled out? Is there certain ways that are doing things? If you're in sales, what does the training for the sales involve? Okay. You've got, maybe there's performance and reward management. If you guys do a good job, what's the reward for that? Okay. Besides just pay, is there a bonus? Is there, how are you going to defer the bonuses out? Each place is different, okay? You've got, of course, talent management. We just talked about talent a few slides ago. Ooh, succession and career planning. That's a big one. What are you going to do in the event that someone is retiring or leaving the business? How are you going to fulfill that person's role? Are you going to bring somebody from in the business existing and bring them up? Are you going to hire into that position? That's up to human resource management. Labor relations. Oops. Sometimes the people that work in your business will be contracted out, okay? So if that's the case, how are you going to communicate the needs to what you want the contractors to do compared to maybe, say, the regular employees, okay? And there's businesses that do that. Over here at HAECO, okay, they have regular employees, okay, and they have contract employees working on the aircraft, okay? So how is each person treated a little bit maybe differently? Yes, they're all assigned to work on the aircraft, okay? But there are some tasks that are, suited for the contractor, or maybe he's going to be working longer or has different rules that apply to him than, say, the regular employee, okay? And you've got general planning, okay? So all those are various roles and duties. Now, depending on the size of the business, the human resource manager might be handling all of that, or the human resource manager might be handling some of those tasks and delegating the rest out. Each spot is different. Each business is different. All right, some more terms. Yay for terms. I like terms. All right, so we got payroll, okay? Payroll is essentially what you pay your people. Okay, what do you pay your employees? Okay, so payroll is either a list of a company's employees and the amount of money they are to be paid. Okay, and this is really big because in business, if not 2/3 to 1/3 of the overall expenses go towards pay. Pay is huge, especially here in America. All right, it is a huge, huge, huge expense, and it has to be checked, double checked, rechecked. All right, and at any point, if I was a CEO, I might ask my manager, hey, what was payroll for the quarter? What was payroll for the month? Hey, we're doing our end of the year. All right, what did we spend total in payroll? Okay, or it's a total amount of wages and salaries paid by a company to its employees. All right, easy enough. All right, benefits. Benefits are really cool, and I think we're going to get to benefits a little bit later. All right, but benefit might be a payment or a gift made by an employer, the state, or the insurance company. An insurance company. That's just a definition here, okay? But basically, I want you to understand that a benefit is something that is paid to somebody for doing something, all right? It's something in addition to standard pay. Pay is a benefit, but is there anything else that's given there, right? It's an advantage or profit gained from something. It's a benefit, all right? And there are several benefits that we'll get to, I believe, in the next video, all right? So there we go. That wraps it up. All right, there are 2 slides to answer here. You're going to answer the basic missions. You can go to slides for that. The blank keepers, I talked about that. Think about the you shall not pass. The total amount of wages, we just talked about that, right? And then you got true or false question. And then, hey, there you go. These are all self-explanatory. You should be able to handle it. So I will catch you in video numero dos. That's 2.